Running
Thompson
Aces,
Square.
Thompson Square, October 1st.
How long have you been singing and writing songs?
Gosh, I've been writing music for a long time. I think the first song that I ever wrote was when I was 13, and it was I just kind of got hooked to the message, just writing, and it was almost like cheap therapy, you know? I mean, any way you can get a song across or somebody can relate to it. Yeah, I would say since I was 13 years old.
Jump into the water, untie all them cables and ropes, step onto that astroturf, get yourself a koozie, let's go. Who said anything about skiing?
When and how did you learn to play a guitar?
Funny story. Actually, my dad, my father figure, Jim Erickson, I used to always see him at the kitchen table, and he used to just be playing on this beautiful, it was a Strat, Fender Strat, and he would always be playing this James Bond theme song or something like that, and I was like, man, that sounds so cool. I want to learn that, I was just fascinated with what he was doing, and so from there, I kind of picked up the guitar, and I actually ended up almost giving up. I didn't really want to, my fingers hurt, and it was just so weird. I didn't really think I had it, but then I kind of kept going, so I'm glad I didn't stop. Kind of worked through the pain, and now I'm here today. I'm a self-taught musician. I don't know a whole lot, which is frustrating for some when I'm trying to play music with them, but I'm a self-taught, self-made musician.
And I don't want to steal your freedom, I don't want to change your mind, I don't have to make you love me, I just want to take your time. And I don't want to wreck your Friday, I ain't gonna waste my lines, I don't want to take your heart, I just want to take your time.
Do you play any other instruments?
As a matter of fact, I do. I do a little, I dabble. I would call myself a dabbler. I do a little bit of, play a piano a little bit. I can play bass guitar, some drums. I actually grew up and I played the trumpet, of all things. I was in band for a couple of years. And yeah, so I mean, I like to pick up an instrument, anything really, I mean, and give it a shot. I would say my main forte would be something of guitar and playing, obviously singing. So.
Yeah, get your hands out the window so I can see them. Alright. You say you're self-taught. How did you teach yourself to write, play, and sing?
Oh gosh. You know, I kind of just started writing songs about the things that were going on around me, as in, you know, like personal experiences, other experiences people were going through. and a little bit of everything. But I guess to answer your question, kind of just started doing it on my own. I mean, not anybody around me was really writing music or writing songs, but I kind of was a path paver of all my friends, and now I'm lucky because I know a lot of people that are doing the same thing as me. So I guess I'm blessed. I'm lucky.
I'll take a picture.
They could show up at.
People can show up at 8. People can be here at 8:30.
Look who it is!
Oh, there he is.
He made it! He's on his way! Sky Lounge. Welcome to the Sky Lounge.
He's so quiet coming in too, like not a door or anything.
That's why he's so good at what he does.
You could have all killed us.
No, we can't use that part.
Sorry. Cut it out. Go ahead and cut that part.
It's all good. Emotional faces.
We got the banners up there.
Yeah, it looks great.
Otherwise, it might not look good.
Guys, what's going on? This is getting weird.
I mean, they don't even have a banner up. You think they have some sort of drop back or backdrop?
Jake, what's it like having your own dressing room?
It's definitely a first, and it's actually really, really cool. This is awesome.
Different than a hotel room.
Yeah, it's definitely different than a hotel room or a someone I posted on Facebook, and they're like, it's better than getting dressed in a Tahoe, isn't it? I was like, much better.
Yeah, this is awesome.
What's your favorite part about playing music with Jake?
Man, just to be able to play music with him and to see the fans' reactions, that's just great. That's the best part of it, as the hat comes flying. You know, it's just making people feel good about it, and being able to listen to his voice every time we play is honestly just worth it every single time.
What is it like having Jake as a son?
Jake is a wonderful human being. He's so positive that it's fun. He likes to have fun, but he's so positive that it's a treasure. It's a treasure. He's a unique human being.
What's it like having Jake as a friend?
Terrible. He is the worst. No. Next song.
He's great.
Amazing.
Yeah. Like, nicest guy I think I've ever met. Hands down, like, always up and just loves life.
Yeah, positive.
He'll do anything for you.
Oh yeah.
It's our crew.
Yeah.
It's like we've been together forever.
Yeah.
We're just all besties. That's all you gotta say.
It's like no matter, you know, the hard times, you know, get into a fight with someone, it's like next day he's like, I'm sorry, or it's like it's just
that's the thing. Like
it's
us, we
he's
never.
just so forgiving of anything. It's like I don't care about the past. Today's today.
Some of us we butt heads, but next day it's like, hey, you want to get a beer?
Yeah, it's
All right.
like we just had this argument. I don't care.
Who cares?
It was last night.
Who cares if you've had
great
relations
friend.
relations in my bed?
Oh yeah, wouldn't change a thing.
Life
at all.
would be boring without him.
I can attest to that. Yeah, that's true.
It's definitely different.
But in a good way.
In a good way, yes.
But then again, he's definitely different.
Everybody's different.
We're all butterflies.
You mean snowflakes?
How about water?
I almost. A couple years ago, I would have done it. I would have. I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old. My eyeballs falling out.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
we're gonna spoon it out later. Get a hot spoon, just scoop it out.
All right.
What is it like
I like how
having
you're
Jake as
whispering.
a friend?
As a friend, well, Jake's my boyfriend. We've been together for 3.5 years, and it's like I love that kid. Obviously, I love him so much. We live together now, and I mean, we've been through a lot in the last 3 years. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's not easy dating a musician. I mean, it's really not. You know, a lot of weekends, a lot of, you know, a lot of time apart. But it's also really special in a way that, like, other people just don't understand. And it's kind of, we also just have this bond that's really kind of, we've always just said it's, like, really special. And I kind of feel like we met at this really serendipitous time. And I say that because he hadn't really started performing live yet when we really started dating. He'd done a few shows in college, or, you know, he did a few shows here and there, but seriously, the summer we started dating was when he was, like, playing Green Mill shows regularly once a month, and you know, everything from there has just gone up. I mean, he's only improved in the amount of shows he's playing, in, you know, the caliber of artists that he's opening for or playing with. Everything, there's growth there. I mean, it's just been amazing to watch. And actually, I mean, his first EP, it's called Midnight Kiss. Literally, I mean, I'm seriously, like, 90% of the songs are about our relationship and kind of the beginning of all that. And so it's interesting to hear, kind of, to listen to all the Midnight Kiss stuff and then the Full Swing stuff. I mean, we go from, like, there's literally a song called Across the Bar, and it's about when we met on his birthday before we were really actually together. And it's just about kind of like that infatuation of, you know, meeting someone for the first time and everything's kind of new, but then you go all the way to Don't Worry, which literally is, it's so meaningful, and it's talking about, you know, a couple who has a really strong bond, or like just people who have a really strong bond, but, you know, you go through things. I mean, 3 years, a lot happens, you know, personally, professionally, you go through a lot together, and so just to watch that evolution, just even between us and just in his music, has been really, really amazing to watch. And then for me personally, I mean, there's this really, really fun story I like to tell. So this apartment that we're in right now, I used to live in it, and then I moved out, and Jake wanted to move in. So he gave me this piece of paper, basically, and he had it signed, and he wanted me to hand it into the landlord, to be like, hey, you know, here's this application I want to give to him. And I looked at this piece of paper, and he signed it, and his signature was just so cool. It looked awesome, and so I was like, dang, this is really cool. So I literally took it from a paper form, and I scanned it into the computer, and I brought it into Illustrator, and I made a vector of it, and that became, so it said Jake Nelson and then music underneath with a little guitar flair. And so that was his first logo. I mocked this up and I sent it to him, and I was like, hey, what do you think about this? And he's like, oh my god, this is amazing. He's like showing everybody, look at my logo, look at my logo. And I was like, I guess it's his logo. So literally, like, he takes it and he, like, makes banners of it, and he's putting it everywhere. And so we eventually had t-shirts made, and it's just this tiny little thing that just kind of really took off. And I mean, it was just a surprise. I just wanted to be like, hey, what do you think? And he loved it. And then, I mean, cut to, like, I designed the Midnight Kiss cover, and I designed the Full Swing cover, and, like, he has been so supportive in my graphic design career. Honestly, I wasn't doing anything with it when we met. I now have my own freelancing business. Like, I mean, it's like we've both just, this evolution of our personal and professional lives has really, like, mirrored each other, but we've also been able to, you know, help each other and to really make each other's careers take off, and which is super cool. I mean, and we complement each other so well. It's kind of nice when that his girlfriend is his graphic designer, because, you know, of course, I mean, he needs something like in a day, can you do this? I'm like, yeah, sure, of course, and, you know, just whip it up. I mean, you wouldn't really get to do that if you have an actual, you know, company working for you. So it's just been another thing that's kind of an advantage where, you know, we're doing this independently. We're just kind of doing it from the seat of our pants, and it's working. And so, you know, for both of us and together, and, like, it's just become this amazing, huge thing. And so it's been really amazing to be a part of it. So, yeah, good.
Like that?
Happening now.
Doing it. Bring it up here.
Happening now.
You're running like
So Tennessee Whiskey's your last song, Dave? Okay.
That's my favorite.
But that's close. I mean, get done at 7:45, go on at 8. It's like, holy crap.
He's not gonna get one, but
Obviously,
The guy down at the beer tent looks like he's ready to pass out. Look at
Just jerk his head in there.
He's got his head leaned like head down.
I guess we really don't have much to take care of. We got what?
What's your favorite song to play at your live shows?
probably Tennessee Whiskey, and we're gonna hear it tonight. But that song is just, every time we play that song, the crowd is just zoned in, and Jake's voice is just killer on that. So I love them all, but that song especially, I think we'll see it tonight, is just great. Tennessee Whiskey, Chris Stapleton. Yeah.
So when did you realize Jake had real talent?
Well, there was this day that I took him to the teddy bear band, and he was probably 4 years old. And he had a ukulele in his hand and bounced around on the play area that they had and jammed to the teddy bear band. And there was something about that was pretty sweet. His direction with music that showed talent was because he wouldn't stop, and that was what showed that he was going to make something happen because he wouldn't stop.
When did you realize Jake had real talent?
Pretty early. It was like
I'd say
senior year high school. I think.
I'd say before that.
Oh, way before that, probably.
I'd probably say like 9th grade when he
You
when he
guys
first started
don't
playing.
know talent.
When he first started playing, I think it was probably like
It was probably 8th, 9th grade.
Maybe even before that, because that was
Me and Jake got guitars at the same time.
when he still had the cassettes.
yeah, so it'd probably be around that time, so like 8th or 9th grade or whatever.
It was.
Well, I remember
There was a time he didn't want to stick with it, but he did.
He's
stick
loved
with
music all his life.
Oh yeah, like he hopped around all the time. He had bass guitars, electrics, and
Yep.
he would just rip on those things. You know,
Yeah.
we'd come over and have a few beers.
It. Yeah, he had a drum set.
Don't
and
tell
everything.
anybody. Cut that out. But like,
Keep that.
he would just rip the guitar and just like, this is awesome. Like he was, big into like Breaking Benjamin and all like those like Crossfade, Cold,
Yeah.
Stained, all those kind of bands. And then he kind of, as he got older,
Graduated genres.
found his niche and is like, dude, he nails that.
Yeah, you can play just about anything.
Can we curse on this? Okay.
Yeah, that was one of my first questions.
That would have been something you should have told me.
I forgot. And it's funny how like we get so off the question sometimes.
Yeah, well,
I like it. It's fun.
I know. A simple question turns into a long story.
Yeah.
You can just
It's good for
memories.
It's good for the documentary too, to have like a laboratory.
Like
Yeah, really.
I have one of his first cassettes that he had the little
The 8-track or 4-track.
No, like the
No,
cassettes where you
the winding cassette.
Yeah.
No, that's what it was.
It wasn't an 8-track. 8-track's
no,
later.
eight tracks a disc, like a square that you like shove in, like Sega,
All right.
Yeah.
like cassette, like a normal cassette.
All right.
But yeah, I have like one of his first like recordings. Like, I don't even have that. How do you have that? I was like, well, you gave it to me one time. You did a full recording way back when. And I threw it in my safe.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm
His
not gonna
music
get
was different back
get
then,
rid
yeah.
of that.
It was lovey-dovey, very.
Well, I think his first full song that I've ever heard him play was the 007 theme on his bass that he had.
Yeah. Yes, like see, just a talented guy at guitar, like pick up a bass, play some notes, easily a song.
Right.
But I feel like him doing acoustic definitely is where he needs to be.
Yeah. Jake has always had just a knack for musical talent. In band, I remember he was in band early in middle school.
Yeah, he used to blast all the time with the trumpet.
But then he just went straight into the best choir when he went into choir. First year trying out choir, you're in the top. And so I remember that was pretty cool, and I was envious.
Yeah.
When did you realize Jake had real talent?
The second I heard him sing. Seriously, his voice is just unlike any other, and the way that he can just take an idea and make it into a song is incredible. It blows my mind every time. I mean, just the other night, you know, he has a friend that was having a hard time, and he just sits down. I'm in the living room, he sits down, and all of a sudden at the end of the night he has a song. I mean, like an hour later, and it is a song. It has a verse and a chorus and another verse and a bridge, and I'm like, how did you do that? And it sounds amazing, you know, and it's just like, this dude is so talented, and it's amazing, and literally, I mean, I knew it right away. So that, I think I mentioned that night that we went out for his birthday, he seriously got up on stage. They made him, he knew the people at the bar, they had a guitar, and they're like, hey, get up on stage and sing. And so I'm like, oh, I mean, like, obviously I knew he was a musician, you know, that's how he was courting me and how I was, like, attracted, whatever. But he gets up on stage and he's singing, and I'm like, oh my God, he can do this live too. I mean, it's not just like behind his computer, it's just, he's the whole package, so yeah.
Yeah, that's the one part.
How you doing, Lizzie? All is well? Everything's good.
I know, like, everyone bought
This
one.
is just so exciting.
Woodstock. Like, I know Kyle bought one, Jake bought one.
I used to wear one.
Woodstock. Everybody buying the cowboy hats. I was like,
Why, did they disappear?
This would be a waste of money because I'm gonna buy it once, wear it, and just be okay. And
I wear mine.
No reason.
I wore mine like 4 days ago. Are you kidding me? There's definitely a reason. It was only 110 degrees in direct sunlight all 3 days.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
I still gotta get my ticket for Jack Friday.
What's the highlight of the duo's career?
That would be right now. We're about to go through it. Up to this point, there's been a lot of great experiences and venues, and every single one is unique in its own way, but tonight's the night. Tonight's the highlight, Running Aces.
You're going on at
7:15. Why don't you see you're just gonna basically right before we on, right? Awesome.
Yep.
What time does Thompson Square October?
8? I don't know. I don't know.
That's crazy. Well, that makes sense, I guess, because we're done at 7:45.
That'd be a quick turnaround.
That's a quick turnaround. Or 8.
But they already set up, but you think they want to like sell beer?
They probably, yeah.
Matt, what is your favorite beverage?
Oh boy, well, I'm a Wisconsin boy, so it's a Leinenkugel's beer. Cold Leinenkugel's beer is gonna satisfy me the best.
They have a bar in the back.
Yeah. See what time it's probably cheaper. Is that it? I don't have to call us. Is that it? I think we're smaller or bigger than where we got the beer. It's like 7. Get out of here. I don't think they have very well.
People turn for how many are to go.
We got a couple or 3. We're gonna have to go to the actual bar. Squad would be 4. It's getting wild. It's getting wild. Running Aces.
Who inspires you musically?
Well, my brother got me playing guitar, so I'd say my older brother, Brian, but just from a country music standpoint, I love Eric Church. I've always loved Eric Church. He's been my favorite guy. And even, you know, guys like Thompson Square, duos like that, and I've been listening to them for several years. So, you know, you go back when I grew up, it was Tim McGraw, you know, Red Atkins, like guys like that. That's 90s country bands, that's what I grew up listening to. Yeah.
What do you believe was Jake's biggest influence?
I mean, growing up, for sure, his father figure, Jim, taught him how to play the guitar. And I mean, none of this would have happened if that hadn't happened. So I think that goes back to, you know, his biggest, or I mean, first influence. You know, now they're not as close, but I mean, like I said, that's where it all started. So to me, that's what his biggest influence is. Yeah, if that makes sense. Yeah, I kind of just trailed off there, but that's okay.
So what do you believe was Jake's biggest influence?
I'm sure there were a lot of bands that he enjoyed that were influential to him. But I know that there was a special person in Jake's life that was influential, and that is this gentleman sitting behind me. And that is his dad figure. And he also plays guitar, very musically inclined, and worked with him and gave him ideas that he had with his music career. And I think he's probably the biggest person that pushed Jakey forward. Yeah.
What do you believe was Jake's biggest influence?
I want to say his grandpa.
Grandpa. He was into Frank Sinatra.
Oh yeah. You name it, his grandpa had anything Frank Sinatra.
I'd say Jim.
Jim, yeah.
Father figure Jim. Always was there teaching him new chords, how to play the guitar.
And basically anybody who else like played music was his influence, basically, right?
That's pretty vague.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. Like I played piano, Joe played. There's Ian.
No, I'd say Grandpa and Jim. For sure.
Yeah.
Biggest. Jim
biggest
really kept him going.
impacts of people that probably made him pursue music.
What were you looking for?
It felt like you wanted more with that. You're like,
okay.
Just keep on elaborating and stuff. Yeah, let's talk about John's
Are you done?
No, just letting the silence.
Just reset.
A lot of times the silence will bring out more.
And new scene.
Who are some of your biggest inspirations for music?
Gosh, you know what? It goes all the way back to Frank Sinatra. I was pretty much raised. My grandpa raised me on Frank Sinatra. Big band, swing dance, and all that good stuff. He was kind of a classy guy, and so big influence would be Frank Sinatra. Huge fan of Dustin Lynch. He's a singer-songwriter in the country genre. I love everybody. I love everybody, every genre. I mean, I can't classify, one. I got so many influences, I guess. Billy Currington's another one. Garth Brooks. A lot of old school country and a lot of new stuff. I mean, even some of the newcomers like Kelsey Ballerini. She's an independent artist. Love her to death. She's doing some good stuff. So good.
What are some of your goals as a singer-songwriter?
Jake's got a new album coming out, so I just want to write some songs for that. That's my goal, is to be able to have him play some of my songs, make them come to life. It's the best thing you can do. So, I got the voice for it and got the musician for it, so if I can write something great and he can produce it, that's all I can ask for.
When did you realize this is what you wanted to do?
You know what? I realize on nights where people connect with your music. I think that is like the best feeling, the best, just, there's nothing better when you can see somebody singing one of your songs back, and to be able to connect with that person or that audience is just something surreal, and all musicians that experience that know exactly what I'm talking about. When you hear someone singing exactly what you wrote, and you're like, wow, how do you know that? Like, how do you even know that? But they do. They connect with you, and that's special. It's pretty cool.
How we doing, brother? Let's go. Swaying back and forth. Can't you feel the music? Time stands still. I don't wanna lose it. Her tan, her touch, her laugh. We're flying so high like we're never gonna crash. It's a Friday night. It's a small town girl. Everything is right. Yeah, we roll to work. 2 12s in a trunk, backbeating. Bunch of rock stars on the real bank singing. Oh, 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 everything we wanna be. We are tonight. dress with our hands up high, dream as big as a midnight sky, so unsame and so alive. If you know the words, tonight, you know the words.
What are some of your goals other than making it big in your music career?
I would say a huge goal for me, other than making it in my music career, I would love to play, which actually ties into my music career, would be to play Grand Ole Opry. I think that would be absolutely awesome. It's a huge goal of mine. I've actually talked about that with my grandpa, and he's like, just put your mind to it, son, It's like, all right, I'll try. But, yeah, I don't know. Other than music, gosh, I don't know. Music's kind of all I want to do right now. It sounds kind of, focused on one thing, but I just want people to hear my message, hear my music. I think I've got something different to bring to the table, and I think that's important.
If you could do collaboration with anyone in the country music scene, who would it be and why?
Oh boy. Probably Eric Church. I know I just said his name, but he's probably the guy I've always looked up to. So if I had one artist that I could possibly get together with, it would be him. He's just my style of music. His love his vibe, his feel towards his music. So if that ever happened, it would definitely be him. So.
If you could do collaboration with anyone in the country music scene, who would it be?
Anyone in the country music scene? Gosh, that's tough. Because I'll tell you why it's tough. Because there's a lot of people I'd like to do a song with, and I would say like a duet would be really cool with like Carrie Underwood. I think she's just probably one of the most talented female artists, especially in the country music scene. I would say her. I think it'd be cool to do a song with Thomas Rhett. I've always looked up to him as a songwriter. I think that would be cool. He's really into like more of a pop country kind of vibe, which is fine. I've heard some of his original stuff where he came from, and it's what I got my inspiration in. Is Thomas Rhett. He's a great songwriter. His dad's a great songwriter, and yeah, I'd say a collaboration would be Thomas Rhett would be fun. I'd also like to do one with Carrie Underwood.
Do you have any pre-show rituals?
I only got the shot of Fireball whiskey. I don't know if we're gonna get to it right now, but that's our typical.
Let's go get Fireball.
Typical ritual, exactly. The Fireball. So Fireball whiskey, loosen us up a little bit, and that's it. You gotta ask Jake some. He's about to go too here, so. Yeah.
Fireball, not really.
Yeah, that's good.
Talk about Fireball. What?
I just noticed it, okay?
What's in there?
There's one more water.
There's one more water.
One more.
We'll let you in. Let's fight about it.
Do you have any pre-show and after-show rituals?
You know what? Matter of fact, we do. Obviously, besides getting all cleaned up and ready for the show, putting on a nice shirt, we used to have a tradition. We still follow it every now and then. Is take a nice cold shot of Fireball, and that's kind of turned into Jack Fire, and that's kind of turned into actually nothing for a little while because it's kind of expensive for a musician's budget. But you know what? Yeah, we just like to have a few cocktails before. Not always, obviously, but just kind of like relax. Once you get everything set up, ready to roll, it's good to just kind of decompress before you get going. But yeah, let's re-ask that. I got a better answer.
Back up.
I was kind of remembering what we talked about before and how I listened to music before. Okay. I guess that's kind of part of the ritual. So I wanted to include that because that's not sounding like a complete drunk.
Okay. All right. Yep, you're good right there. And action. Is that your pre-show ritual?
Yes. Very similar.
Do you have any pre-show and after-show rituals?
Definitely pre-show. Depends on who I'm with, of course. If I'm with the guys, cut that out too. Who gives a All right, ask it again. Make sure you use that quack. or the goat. Make sure you make that noise if there's a swear word. Okay. This youngsters watching this possibly.
Oh, we're still rolling. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Shoot.
Do you have any pre-show and after-show rituals?
You may not believe it. You may not believe it, Roland. But what I do is I actually listen to music before I play music. I kind of like to get myself away from everything for just 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Just play a few songs. And when we opened for Rodney Atkins, I threw my in-ear monitors in and I just listened to Dylan Scott. Absolutely love him. And just 3 minutes, 5 minutes of just music to get you amped up. And then obviously afterwards, I actually like no music, which is even weirder. I like kind of like silence. You'll many a time find me driving home after show in just silence for a little while. Even if people are in the car hanging out, we're just chatting. But no, it's after all that noise and all that music, sometimes it's good to just kind of decompress. But a pre-show ritual will be a good old shot of Fireball, of course, and just music. Get hyped up. And for just enjoying this journey with me. I couldn't do it without all of you guys.
Fireball!
I love y'all so much.
You
Cheers!
too.
To the future.
I'm slow.
Amazing.
I can probably finish that.
Yummy. Amazing.
I'll take one for the team.
We got another round in a bit. Got another round in a little bit. Woo! We're getting it home. Sip, sip.
I like it. It's better. Okay.
All right, let's go watch the show, guys. Come on. Let's get out of here. Let's go have some fun. Oh, you're in.
Oh, I know. I was looking for my bro.
I bet that is where they would be.
Jake has been on the Bob FM Minnesota Country Salute CD. You guys purchased that, right? Alright, well our Volume 3 is coming out in November and Jake will be on that one as well. So we're pretty excited. I'm going to get him up here now on the top gathering. Are you guys ready to rock the house? Jake Nelson!
When you started writing and playing your own music, what did you imagine it would be like?
When I started writing and playing my own music, you know what? I mean, there's no easy way of imagining, because it's all kind of one of those things that it just happens, and it's so special and so, I guess surreal is the better word to say. I kind of imagine people just enjoying it, just getting into it and having fun with it.
What's your favorite original Jake Nelson song?
Now you're killing us.
Now you're killing us. This is the first time I've ever seen him, and I'm in love.
All right. What is your favorite original Jake Nelson song?
Released or unreleased? I'd probably say Rock Bottom.
Ooh, wow, you brought that way back.
That's a deep song.
That's probably my favorite Jake Nelson song by far. I think that's kind of the first song that he ever written that kind of really got him in tune with himself, and to tap into his emotions that his fans and everybody else could relate to. That's why that song is my favorite song, personally.
It's a very deep song.
Yeah, it is.
Love that song. I'd have to go with probably, I think that Wannabe is probably my favorite song.
That's a definitely good
It's
song.
so relatable to, I feel like, anyone, any guy wants that feeling for the girl that he cares for.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that is a well-written song, and I don't know, that definitely tops the list for me, so.
I'm gonna have to go with Gold. Yeah, just because, like, all of us know Jake's mom super well, and like,
mother to all of us.
She's always been there. You know, you're sick, make sure you go to the bathroom. when you're done being drunk and you're hungover, go clean the gutters or something.
Right.
Always, always doing something, but it's just
always
like,
a list.
Always a
list. That song, like, it's literally what all of us have lived with her. Always. It's just like, oh, clean up the yard. Okay, I'll clean up the yard. Can I have a beer? I'll give you a beer and a shot if you clean up the yard. Fantastic.
What are you doing Saturday? Oh, we're gonna have a picnic, or we're gonna
Steak and
do
rake.
this.
The steak
you
and
show
rake.
up, you think you're ready, you're gonna just have
Got
a
a
picnic.
list on the door.
No, there's a list before that has to be completed. before you
Assigned
get
to each person.
Jake's birthday. Cool.
Birthday party.
Where's
No.
my name on this list? Right. Oh, there it is. Don't
Change the light. Put up the fence.
Don't start fires,
You know?
Andy. Okay, I'm not fire duty.
Mow the
Got it. So that's why, I'd go with Gold. Yeah, definitely, that'd probably be mine from him.
That's awesome.
It's always.
My favorite all-time, hands down, Life's Journey.
Yeah, Life's Journey's good.
Life's
why?
Journey.
And why?
It resembles what friends should be. You gotta answer their phone calls. You gotta be there whenever they need you. That Redneck Wine is one of my favorites, but Life's Journey hands down.
Going back to Life's Journey. It's just kind of the credo for this group. Like, we've grown up our whole life together. It kind of is encompassing with that song. It's cool.
It fits our group very good. We'll do anything for each other.
What is your favorite original Jake Nelson song?
Oh, without a doubt, Don't Worry. I love that song. It has a very special meaning to both of us. It is about us, basically. But also, the video that accompanies it was something that we did together. And so it was very much like a labor of love, kind of passion project for both of us. So I do all of his art. And so for Don't Worry specifically, I worked on the lyric video and the album art with him. And it was just really fun. It was just a really fun project for both of us to do together. And that song is like amazing. It's kind of our mantra now, don't worry. Whenever something happens, it's like, don't worry. And we think of the song, so it's kind of funny. So I like that.
And there's 1,000 ways you can steal my heart, like a diamond thief gone in the dark. And the way you move makes me wanna move. It's sang in the middle of the dance floor. Don't worry. Yeah, we're gonna make it through. Set it on the edge, and I bet you're ready to fall. But we ain't falling no way, no. Yeah, I've got you in my arms, far away from home. Stay close, because the best of this is yet to come.
What is your favorite cover Jake has done on his YouTube channel?
My answer is Dirt Road Anthem. I'm not sure if he's done it on YouTube, but hands down, my most favorite cover, Dirt Road Anthem. I'm pretty sure Jason Aldean. And good song.
I'm a big Phil Collins fan, so I'm gonna have to say
In the Air Tonight.
In the Air Tonight. I couldn't think of it for some reason, but he just sings it so well. It's so, I think it's not, no offense to Phil Collins, but I think it's better. I think it's better than the original.
Phil's gonna get that. Come at.
He's gonna sue me.
We give you a phone call. Yeah, hey, I think you're right.
I hope so.
What is your favorite cover Jake has done on his YouTube channel?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so many good ones. I would say my favorite cover that he did actually is probably Anywhere With You by Jake Owen. And because there's a little bit of a backstory with that. Actually, before we even started dating, he was doing these little rendition Fridays online. So every Friday he would post a new cover, and that's kind of like how he started getting his name out there, really, 3 years ago. And we had been talking, and I texted him saying like, you know, I really think you should do Anywhere With You, but I was like, I wasn't doing it on the public like Facebook page, like requesting all of the songs. I was just texting him, and so I was actually at a movie with my friends, and I see that he uploaded a video, and it was Anywhere With You, and I sat there like in the stall in the movie theater, and I'm watching it, and I was like, oh my god, he actually did it, and like I was so happy. And probably, I'm not even kidding, like 2 weeks later we actually like started dating, which is so funny. And so whenever I think about that song, obviously I think about that cover, and so it just has a special place in my heart, and I really love it.
What is your favorite cover Jake has done on his YouTube channel?
Oh, mine would be What Are You Drinking About by Florida Georgia Line. By far. That's one of my top 5 favorites for sure.
That's
Good
top
luck.
5. That's,
Good luck.
That's top 5. That's top 5 for sure.
I'm gonna pick the best one. Okay.
I have absolutely asked him to play that song many times. I would probably throw Up All Night in that group because I've seen John Party live. I love John Party, but Jake does Up All Night better than the original.
I agree.
That song every time to me, I don't know, it's just a feel-good song, and
it's a good jam
he
song.
kills it, man. He absolutely kills it.
Gets everybody going.
I'd probably go with Boys Around Here. I don't know why. Like it's I'm not a country person, but like hearing his version and then the real version, I'm just like got a little. It's like. I mean, he nails it, but to me, I feel like he does it a little bit better.
Yeah,
but it's I guess it's the way that Jake does it. There it's like he makes it his song, but it's someone else's. Like he makes it his own. Like he owns that shit.
Is it weird to anyone else that? I mean, Tennessee Whiskey is like.
I wanted to say that. I know we all want to say that.
I mean, I'm a huge Chris Stapleton fan, but Tennessee Whiskey, he kills that song. That's
Penny's Challenge.
Challenge Chris Stapleton to that song.
Dude. That's a killer song.
I'd love to see
I'm
that.
gonna tell him. I think that we're gonna leave
Go
that
on
alone right there.
Go on
We'll see where
Twitter.
this
Challenge
plays out.
Chris Stapleton to his own song. That'd be nuts. I would definitely watch that.
Jake's like, yeah, thanks for challenging me on that one. Thanks, guys.
Right.
You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. Honey, I stay stoned on your love all the time.
Thank you very much.
Well, from your experience, first time seeing him, can you explain Jake's music in 3 descriptive words?
I bought the CD, his photo, and I plan on following him around.
All right. Explain Jake's music in 3 descriptive words.
You know, all be the same. 3 descriptive words. I'd say energetic. Awesome. And man, I mean, words don't even describe how else he plays. It's amazing. There isn't one song of his that's bad. I don't know. I can't think of a third word. Sorry.
I got you. Yeah, I would probably say genuine, like genuine. I don't know how to say it, genuine or genuine, like just from the heart.
Genuine.
And then so he's pretty much the rapper Genuine. No, but another one just positive. Just all the songs are just good. Just good message. Third's tough. Beautiful, is that one word?
Awesome.
No, it's just he's getting really good. I'm so glad that he's doing what he's doing.
Killed it tonight, I'll tell you that.
No, everyone's loving it. Just good crowd tonight for him.
Explain Jake's music in 3 descriptive words.
That's a good question. I would say authentic. His music seriously comes from his heart, and it's all about things that are happening to him or to his friends. Also passionate, and just, I don't know, real. I mean, those are all kind of like authentic and real are synonyms, but that's what it really comes down to. Like, his music is seriously just him, or like whether that means, like I said, about him or about something that's going on with people in his life or just anything. And so it's like it's very Jake Nelson is what I would say if it comes down to it. So.
Explain Jake's music in 3 descriptive words.
I won't go first this time. I'll let you guys go.
Inspiring, memorable, epic.
I'd go probably heartfelt / emotional. God, you dirty person.
I'm sorry.
Energetic. Probably uplifting-ish, I guess. That's not a word, but like, it makes you feel good about whatever you're doing. Like, you're having a bad day, throw on bad news. I'm having a great day. There's so much other bad shit out there. It's like, I'm still alive. Having a great day.
Something definitely had it worse. Just turn on the news.
Just get off the road.
Meaningful, passionate, and kind of, I want to say, like storytelling. Like if you listen to Jake's music,
he has
every song that he sings or he has written
is a story.
You could literally close your eyes and you could see it unfold like in a picture book right in front of you.
Either you've done that story.
True music. You know, that's something that's hard to find or hear nowadays.
Even create.
Yeah.
And he does that well.
100% real.
But it's like every song. You said every song is a story, and it's like you either lived it,
been a part of it, or you can relate to it.
Yeah. So it's like that's the kind of music that you want to hear. It's like, oh, I can relate to this. You know. Oh no, it's like, but he does it just great.
Yeah.
Feels real.
Almost effortless sometimes.
I know, it's just like,
you know?
when he did Tennessee Whiskey, it's like, you make it look so damn easy. How do you do it? He's just like, oh, no worries. I'm like, I'm over here with a black face, crying because I'm trying to do what you're doing. I'm like, no, can't do it. Out of breath.
Alright.
But yeah, he makes hard shit look just so simple.
Effortless voice.
Mm-hmm. It's not forced.
Oh God, no.
Nothing he does is forced.
What is your life like now?
My life is great. I love life. Is that all? Is that all you wanted to know? My life is full of spontaneity. Spontanea. I live a life where it's unpredictable, but it's very exciting, and I'm very lucky to be in the position where I am right now. Kind of just breaking the ice on what could be something very, very exciting, I think. But you never know. Like I said, it's unpredictable, but it is very exciting. I don't like that question.
We can still interview?
Yeah, I think he's got one. He's got one more question. I think we ran out of Skittles.
Yeah, we need Skittles.
Well, that's when the interview's over. Apparently.
Get out of here. You want to join it? You want to join that one?
You want to crash this party?
Yeah,
You want this? None of this.
None of this is real.
None of this is real.
We're all paid actors.
Yeah.
No one even knows our names.
Those are mine. Those are mine.
All right.
What do you think of Jake's album, Full Swing?
Not one bad song. There is absolutely not one song that I'll skip on that CD. It's just, it resembles everything that is me. That's just my opinion.
Boys from the hood, boys from the hood. I got an aunt and uncle that popped that CD in, and it's like, they never go to shows. I'm about to sneeze.
Cut that out.
And scene. Alright, yeah, no, it's so cool that I got this aunt and uncle, they love them. They pop in Full Swing all the time. I'm just looking forward to the next one because he's made a huge jump musically. So.
His voice is very tantalizing.
Yeah, I did not answer. I did not answer. I did not answer the question.
Now's your chance to answer that question.
Didn't want to.
Do you have any... What do you think of Jake's album, Full Swing?
I love it. It's amazing. I've mentioned before, every song on that album is just so different from each other. I don't know if that's the right way to phrase it, but seriously, it's called Full Swing because he's come so far, and I mean, it's kind of like a full circle thing. He did it all on his own. He produced it, he wrote it, everything is from him. Like, literally his hands and his brain and, like, everything is Jake Nelson. And that's what's really, really special about it. So, I mean, I really love that album. And just especially between, you know, us, I do his graphic design, like I kind of mentioned, and so I did all his album art, and so again, like, it's just something that we've gotten to do kind of together. We literally had a photo shoot in our living room, taking the picture that's on there. I don't know if that's something he wants people to know, but literally, like, I took the picture, and, you know, like, we worked together to come up with, like, what's the vibe gonna be, what's the feel, and, you know, I think we really kind of achieved that together, and so I think the whole package, from, like, what it looks like to what it sounds like, is just, it's awesome. It's a really great project, and something that has been, like, really great for him, kind of getting himself out there musically, and, you know, really pushing his career to the next level. He's been able to talk about that labor of love project that it is, and it's been amazing to watch.
How many songs does Jake have copyrighted? A, 22, B, 100, or C, 57?
I'd say 57.
I'd say I'm gonna agree because it's kind of like the odd number, but
No, it's
57 is.
yeah. I'd say 57. He's on it. When he gets a song done, he just does, like, the mail thing or whatever. I don't know. I don't know the details, but I know that he's working hard all the time.
Yeah, he's definitely a hard-working fellow when it comes to his music. I'd say 57 or more, for sure.
And the answer is?
The world may never know.
Cut. What the
How many songs does Jake Nelson have copyrighted? A, 22, B, 100, C, 57.
Oh, I think it's C. 57? You don't know the answer? That's awesome. Yeah.
How many songs have you written, and which is your most popular?
Gosh, I've written a lot of songs. I've actually got 53 songs that are copywritten with the U.S. Copyright Office. But I'd say I've probably got 75 written. My favorite one that I've written so far, gosh, I really love Life's Journey. That's one of my favorites. That's a tough question, man. Life's Journey is one of my favorites. I really like the one, this new song called Grew Up Home that I'm going to be putting out. And I think we all have a special place that we all connect with called home, you know, and I think that's why that one will be, hopefully resonate with my audience.
Do you have any merchandise suggestions for him?
Trucker hats?
Hats. Trucker hat. Just a simple trucker hat. I like the fitted though.
Fitted?
Alright.
Ringtones, yeah. Maybe even cases. Maybe even cell phone cases.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah.
That would be awesome.
I never thought about ringtones, but if you did a ringtone, you could do him just singing just like some just beautiful like Chris Stapleton song or something.
Tennessee whiskey?
Yeah. That'd be great. That'd be cool.
Any merchandise suggestions?
Merchandise suggestions. Well, he has a couple tank tops. I think that's so we've been kind of working on, you know, what should you have, and I think girls would really love a couple tank tops. So we have a couple of them. We had him at his Thompson Square show, but I think you should get a couple more of those. I don't know. That's kind of a weird question. I don't know. What? Ringtone. Ringtones would be actually really cool. Yeah, I think that would go over really well. He has his own, so he has all of his demos, I guess. Whenever he's kind of recording a song or coming up with an idea, he has everything on his phone. He has like probably thousands of files of songs on his phone, and so he uses his own music to, you know, as a ringtone or as an alarm, and that's just really fun. So of course I think other people would love a Jake Nelson music ringtone. It'd be fun. Or a phone case. I mean, heck, sky's the limit. Anything. The koozies that he started this summer have been such a hit. So clearly people, you know, there's a market for anything.
What was your first song, and what was your inspiration for that song?
My first song. Man, these are hard questions. I should probably remember that one right off the bat. You know what, I think one of the first ones I think that was more memorable to me was actually a song that I wrote in the year 2000 when 9/11 hit, and everyone was so confused. I mean, including myself, my family, I mean, probably many of you watching right now. But I wrote a song called Fighting, and I haven't done anything with it yet, but it's still in the archives, you might say. But it was about, you know, just how, like, why are we fighting? Why are we doing this? You know, and I think that I have to say that was the first song that was actually real memorable to me. I mean, I've written some songs that are on cassette tapes, and which go way back. Makes me feel old. But no, I mean, there's a lot of songs that I've written that I can't really remember very well. Luckily, we document them. We record them on cassettes and CDs, and now we're moving to the digital age, obviously. But yeah, I would say Fighting was one of the first ones. I also wrote a song called Emotional Burn, which was just so weird. It was just like had a weird vibe to it, but which I'm sure some people have actually heard that song, and they're probably, man, that was a cool one. But yeah, I would say Fighting and Emotional Burn were two of my early ones, and then Falling in Love was another one. I mean, how boring of a title is Falling in Love? But when you're 13, 14, 15 years old, that's the kind of stuff that you're going through, you know. And
here we go. Sipping on a PBR, jamming on this guitar, laid back, freedom. Not a worry in the world, sipping on a PBR, strumming this old guitar, drifting with the sunset. A little cocaine, blue label in my hand, a little cocaine, Uzi rocking songbook, pop big Cadillac.
Jake, the questions are going to get a little bit harder now.
Well, in that case, time to take off the old coat.
Of these three things, what isn't true about Jake? A, he is self-taught. B, he tried out for American Idol in 2015. C, he still owns his first guitar.
B is the incorrect answer.
B is the incorrect answer.
Yeah.
B is incorrect. Tried out for the voice.
We've known him for 20 plus years. Got that on lockdown. We can. Sorry. That was
Tried out
cheesy.
for American. He tried out for The Voice, but not
Voice.
American Idol.
Oh god, it was just like that was heartbreaking.
Which is kind of secret. He didn't really tell anybody. He tried out for the voice.
No, he did. He did. It was just, it was rough because like they loved him, and then they're just like, actually, we're not gonna take you. So I was confused about that. They liked him a lot. They liked him singing. I think he sang original. I don't know.
Whenever you're ready.
Hello? Yeah. Yeah, just come in shooting. Smells like weed.
It does.
Pretty normal around here.
I'm sure it is.
Are we recording?
Yes.
Oh, good to know.
Just wanted to capture some of those.
What's up, world?
Candid moments.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to what I have to say. Thanks, Roland, for all the great questions. Blooper reel. Blooper reel. Blooper reel.
Of these three things, what isn't true about Jake? A, he is self-taught. B, he tried out for American Idol in 2015. C, he still owns his first guitar.
B. He's never tried out for American Idol, but he's tried out for The Voice.
What are you looking forward to most in 2017?
2017, new album. I'll be releasing my debut album with no title. It's debut. It's just Jake Nelson. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. Actually, I'm really excited about it. Working on it right now with an amazing producer, Damien. It's going to be great. You're going to love it.
It's a song I would call bad news. I think we can all relate to this one. I walked down the street early this morning. I got a cup of coffee, a Sunday paper, and some cigarettes. When the world's gone crazy, spinning like a top, and you're afraid it just won't stop. Somebody tell me this should come. You know what I'm talking about.
Do you think Jake should try out for The Voice again, or should he continue on his path?
The Voice, he's bigger and better than that. He needs to go on his own path.
All right, thank you. Do you think Jake should try out for The Voice again, or should he continue on his own path?
Again, something that we talk about a lot. I actually got to go with him to Detroit when he tried out for The Voice with his mom and our friend Kyle. And, you know, I go back and forth. It comes with the whole protecting yourself thing. He'd be great on a label, obviously. He'd do amazing. He would do amazing things for that label. But I look at how far he's come in the last 3 years on his own. And not really on his own. I mean, he has tons of support. He has people who help him from graphic design all the way to producing his songs. I mean, he does a lot of it on his own, but he has so much help, and he has a really great support system. But just, I think that the way that his personality is, I think he's going to do so much better just going his own path. You know, I don't know what it's like to be on The Voice. He doesn't either. He didn't make it, but I mean, maybe there's a reason for that. You know, there's a lot of contracts involved with that. There's a lot of rules. I mean, he does not like to follow the rules. He's not a rule follower. He's a rule breaker, you know? And he just goes his own way. And so I really just think that's going to benefit him the most in the end. Who knows? I mean, the future's unknown, but if something really great comes along, of course, I mean, he should take it. But I just think he's been able to do such amazing stuff on his own that it'd be cool to see where that goes, too.
If you could play any genre other than country music, what would it be and why?
That's a funny question, actually, because when I first started getting into music, I told myself I wanted to do an album in every genre, which is basically impossible. But I wanted to do a rock album. I wanted to do a, you know, like an electronic album. I wanted to do a country album. I wanted to do a alternative album. And I don't know. I love every genre of music. I've never bashed anything because I just love it all. So I wanted to do an album in every genre, which would take a long time, but it'd be fun. I think it would just show versatility. I think that's the word. To be able to not have any, I mean, I don't put any genre boundaries on my music. So, I mean, you might hear in one song, you might hear a little electronic this or a lead or who knows what else. And then you might hear piano or guitar or, any instrument, because I don't ever limit myself. I made 1 minute do something completely, whoa, that's out of the box. Because I think that's also important, is to not limit yourself to a genre for one, but also to instrumentation. Anything is good, anything's valid. I mean, I don't care if you have, some sticks that just sound cool. Put it up to a microphone, stick it up, you know what I mean? Or rocks. I mean, anything that, like that spaceship that just drove by. I could put that in a song. Let's put that in a song.
If you could see Jake play a show with 2 other artists, any genre, who would it be?
I would say,
Chris Stapleton. And Blake Shelton's really cool, and he's super huge, so yeah, I guess that's an easy second. So, I don't know, anybody big. There's so many good artists out there.
I'd say people who sell out crowds. I mean, in August, Metallica sold out in 30 seconds. I'd say them. And no offense to
that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work though.
Other artists. But if we were gonna keep it country, I'd say Blake Shelton or Rascal Flatts.
My vote would be Jason Aldean. Yeah.
Any genre.
Any genre. But if we're keeping it country, I'd say Blake Shelton for sure, and then Rascal Flatts is still pretty big.
Yeah, they're good. I like them.
So you know what we can do at the end of a long day, where everything's, you turn on the news and it's just, unfortunately, a lot of bad news. You can find some good friends and just try to be good people. That's all we can do, right? You can have a nice cold beer at the end of the day with our friends, like we're doing right now. Or a nice cold beverage, doesn't matter if it's beer or not. Here we go. Well, the boys around here, drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running their red dirt roads, acting up dust. The boys around here, setting up a prayer to the man upstairs. A backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Chew the back and chew the back and chew the back and spit. Hey! Y'all know this one.
If you could see Jake play a show with 2 other artists from any genre, who would it be?
Any genre. So I'm going to, for this question, I'm gonna kind of straddle both of our musical tastes. So I think Jake would probably fall over dead if he were to be able to play a show with Dustin Lynch. I mean, he would just love that. He's very influenced by him. He kind of vibes with his personality. I think that would be so much fun for him. It would just be a blast. And then my favorite artist of all time, and it's hard to pick between Adele and Kelly Clarkson, but I told him, when you get famous, you are going to do a show. You're going to become friends with Kelly Clarkson, and you're going to make sure that you guys do a show together or something. So Dustin Lynch and Kelly Clarkson, I think that'd be really fun. We'd all have a good time.
If you could perform with anyone, who would you pick and why?
Gosh, that's a tough question, man. One of my all-time favorites. I'd love to do a show with Dustin Lynch. I'd love to do. Obviously Dead or Alive, but I think it'd be cool to do a show with Billy Currington. I'd love to do a show with. I really respect Luke Bryan. I know he gets a lot of crap, but I think he's a great musician. He seems like a nice guy. I'd love to do a show with him. I'd love to do a show with Miranda Lambert. I think she's phenomenal. Like 3 acts or 1? That's a tough question, man. Why do you get all the tough questions, man? You know what? I'm gonna have to go with all-time favorite. I gotta go with. I gotta go with Dustin Lynch. He's one of my I'm just inspired by what he does. I mean, he's a great songwriter. I'm going to go with that.
If you could compare Jake to another artist, who would it be?
It's a tough one.
See, Jake sings studio quality live.
Yeah.
So maybe say I always like it's a go-to to say Rascal Flatts. They do have similar voices. That lead singer, Rascal Flatts. Yeah, that's my answer.
My answer would probably be. I mean, I'm a pretty big Blake Shelton fan, so I'd probably say him. He's a kind of resembles
top tier.
Yeah,
top tier kind of singer.
Yeah. I mean, if he was up there more, he'd definitely be selling out crowds. That's for sure. I wish he would now.
It's a matter of time.
The boys around here standing up and praying at the man upstairs. A backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Chew the back and chew the back and chew the back and spit. I can hear you singing up front here. Y'all know the words, don't you?
If you could compare Jake to another artist, who would it be?
That's tough. I mean, we talk about that a lot. You know, kind of artists that he's influenced by, or ones that like artists that he sounds like. But I mean, it sounds really cliche, but it comes down to like literally there's no one like him, and that's why I think like there's a place for him. You know, there's a place for him in the music industry because he's so original and unique, and that's really special. But of course, you know, Thomas Rhett is one of his absolute favorites. Dustin Lynch, I mean, all of those guys he's influenced by for sure. But you pick up any of his albums, even the songs on the album, they're completely different. Or, you know, any original that he's working on, they're not like anyone else. And that's what I think is the coolest part about his music, really.
If you could compare Jake to another artist, who would it be?
Ouch.
Ooh, that's
I'm definitely going first.
Can I like mix three together?
No.
No? No, that doesn't count? Damn. I'd probably say a little bit of like Ed Sheeran.
He's gonna
and like Frank Sinatra, like a mix. Like he's got that smooth like vibe to him, but it's like upbeat, if that makes sense. And he knows how to like get people up on their feet and just dancing and just moving around. So I'm gonna go with a mashup of those two.
I don't know. I mean, like right here, right now, I'd probably have to like put him in like the. I'd probably have to compare him to Thomas Rhett. I mean,
ooh,
like he's got that like.
Yo.
He brings, you know, there's that thing that you can kind of say it's country, but he's got that upbeat thing going on. You know, he brings a different vibe to it. You know, it's a good feeling thing. You know, it's you know,
just doing something stupid over there.
You're drinking my water, that's for sure.
I need a sip of it because I'm trying to not laugh out loud and like I'm trying to like control my emotions over here because I've been messing with over here.
Of course, only Jake.
I'm probably gonna use your own favorite band against you. I'd probably say early Zac Brown band. By far. If you were to ask me other top 10 artists right now that could compare or do what he does with his music, I'd probably say Zac Brown band for sure. That's who I would compare him to.
I was on my laptop to check my email, front page of the website. Something going crazy, gonna kill the cop. We got a right over here, a murder over there. Somebody tell me that you ain't scared. And when the hell is it supposed to stop?
Describe your feeling when you first heard your song on the radio.
Gosh, that is an amazing feeling. Something that is actually hard to describe because when the first time you hear your song on the radio, which I actually never thought I was going to have that happen, But first time that I had it come on, it was actually it was an internet radio station by a buddy of mine named Bubba out on Data Nashville. It's radio syndicated, so you can pretty much listen anywhere online. And I remember we were downtown Minneapolis to see Thomas Rhett. It was a show out at Mill City Nights, and we had to watch because my song was going to be debuted, world premiere, and he was nice enough to do that for me. And had to stop whatever I was doing, and we had to listen to it because it was that special. And I remember we crowded around my cell phone and we're listening, and then just to hear that first, the riff was just, oh my God, we're on the radio. So that was a really, really cool feeling. And then besides that, 106.1 Bob FM plays my music, and I remember the first time that I heard, I think it was Dancing in the Rain as well. Just something, it's something out of it like gives you it almost makes you nervous. It's like, that's me. That's not that I was right after, Johnny Cash or whoever else it was that was on the radio, and it's just like, wow, it's just a really surreal feeling and pretty special.
Don't touch it. You got two. Yeah, it's fine.
Fucking. You got some grays.
Yeah, I like the grays.
I slap him.
No.
Tomorrow?
I don't want my eyeball falling.
What's it like to be on stage?
Being on stage is a rush for sure. I don't know. I'm used to being on stage. I used to be in performing arts when I was younger. I danced for like 10 years at 4th Street Dance Center, represent. But no, I mean, it's just like, there's something about being on stage. It's a rush, and you're providing an entertainment. You're providing visual art, or in my case, audio. So no, it's just a, like I said, it's just a rush. It's fun. It's fun being up there and being on a stage. I mean, anyone who's been up on a stage knows exactly the feeling. It's a weird feeling, but it feels right.
Let's take it away, bro. Isn't that the truth? Son of man, bad news.
What was your most embarrassing moment on stage?
Most embarrassing moment on stage. Wow. Thanks for bringing that one up. You know what? I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, because that's what we do here. One of my first shows ever, played a show at Green Mill Shoreview. I'm sure some of you remember that night. Was very nervous, very nervous. I had a few cocktails to try to kill the nerves. Had one too many cocktails. And I tuned my guitar 15 minutes. And that was the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me to this day. I got done tuning, and at that moment, I wasn't tuning with a tuner. I was doing it all by ear, and I was, nervous and discombobulated, or whatever the word is. And I remember saying, "All right, that was the tuning song. Let's get on with the show." And people clap and applaud. But yeah, tuning my guitar for 15 minutes, one of my first shows. I'll never forget it, and I'm sure the people that were there never will either. So don't let me down for that one.
Well, the girls around here, yeah, they still love me, and the girls around here, they all deserve it. We're so out of shaking that sugar sweet as Dixie Crystal. We're out of town. Technically, we're in town. Here we go. At the red redneck. With the red redneck. One more time.
What do you like best about being a musician?
Well, let me tell you. What I like best about being a musician would have to be just the fact that you can be creative and you can't be wrong. I mean, you can write songs about just about whatever you want, unless it's vulgar or wrong or rude, or which is entertaining, obviously. But no, the thing that I like best about being a musician is just meeting other musicians for one, and hearing alien spaceships drive by. Of course, that's pretty awesome. What the heck was that? No, just being a musician is just being creative, and your creativity is obviously either appealing or not appealing to somebody else who shares the same interest, or for my what I'm doing is music. People enjoy certain parts of my music, or maybe they don't, which is perfectly fine. There's no right or wrong way. Anyone who's making music is obviously doing it because they love it, and that's the number one reason why I do it. Pretty sure another spaceship just drove by, but we're not really worried about that right now because we're just doing a sweet interview on top of the roof. So. What's up, baby? No, you know what? We're gonna keep rolling, Roland. We're, you know what? I guess the question that you asked is what's my favorite part? Is just being one. Is just being able to say I am one. And there's a lot of people out there that wish they could play guitar or wish they could sing, and I'm lucky I can kind of do both, and I'm grateful for that.
Well, the boys around here drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running their red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys around here setting up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Y'all got it. Boys around here.
What was your biggest obstacle you had to overcome making it to where you are now?
Biggest obstacle? I mean, I think we all just, especially in music, we kind of just got to get over that hurdle of, am I good at this or not? And I'm still figuring everything out. I'm still figuring out my sound. I'm still figuring out exactly what I want to do with my music career, I guess you could call it. But I guess the biggest obstacle, I don't know. That's a hard question. I think just acceptance from all music lovers. Is a big thing. You're gonna get people that don't really like your music or people that do. I've been very lucky. I've been accepted in many different genres. I can't call myself a country artist. I can't call myself a pop artist. I can't call myself anything really. I'm just kind of Jake Nelson music, and I think that the obstacle of fitting in a certain genre has been kind of a weird deal, but I've never put myself in a genre, so I guess that's maybe the biggest obstacle. I don't know. There's also just the learning curve. I'm a self-taught musician, there's a lot of things that I don't know, and even playing with musicians who are far better than me, that's great. I love that. Playing music with people who are actually knowledged and know what they're doing, and scales and everything else like that. You can learn a lot, and that's an obstacle, but that's also a gift. Playing music with people who know what they're doing is awesome. It's fun.
How did you get to be the opening show for Thompson Square, and what was your reaction when you were asked?
Gosh, you know what? I am very lucky, and played some shows at Running Aces, which started to get us a following. And my reaction when we were asked was absolutely, holy crap. Totally an honor, and I remember when she first said, she's like, I would love for you to open, Stacy from Running Aces, she said, I would love for you to open for Thompson Square if you're interested. I'm like, am I interested? Of course we're interested. I remember giving Matt the news, and he was totally, yeah, let's do it. And then there was the, hold on, we got to see if Thompson Square will approve it, So we're like, oh, let's get our hopes up for this, right? But after a long couple months, Thompson Square eventually approved us being their opener for the show at Running Aces, and it was just like one of the coolest feelings in the world is to have, you know, a national act from Nashville and from all over the place of that stature approve you as their opener, which is, that's kind of like a pat on the back, or like almost like I'm doing this is a good thing. We're doing something right here. So yeah, that's that.
Have you ever been abducted by aliens?
There was this one time over 3 summers ago, I was abducted by a small pack of aliens, and I'll never forget it because it was intense. And they actually changed my eye color and my facial hair color. So I got blonde hair, I got a kind of a strawberry red tone to my face. And that was my experience with the aliens. And yeah, go ahead, zoom in a little bit, check it out. It's confusing on the top, yeah.
What was it like playing an opening show for Thompson Square?
That was an absolutely amazing experience. I can't really put it into words because you'd have to live it to understand it. I think anyone who's open for someone that they respect and admire, and it's just an honorable feeling. It's kind of like when I played my show at the Caboose, sitting on that or standing on that stage where Adele's been, where some names that I just can't even imagine. You know, I mean, I'm so inspired by those folks. You know, to be on the same stage as some of those people is huge. It's a big deal to me. And just to open for Thompson Square was so cool and so surreal. And I know Matt and I were both on top of the world. That whole night couldn't have gone by any faster because it was absolutely just zoom, you know, set up, play. Just the whole night went by so fast. But to answer your question, it was just surreal. It was just like living a dream, living a dream.
Where do you see yourself a few years from now?
A few years from now, I want to travel. I want to see the world. I want to play with some of the best artists ever. I mean, I think the only way you can do is reach for the stars, right? I want to do things with my music. I want people to hear it. I want to do as much as I can. My mom has always kind of been a big pushing force in my life. Is that, you know, obviously, you know, everyone says if you can see your, you know, you can see yourself doing something, do it. I mean, I believe in that. Is that if you work hard, if you go for something that you want to achieve, do it. Go for it. I mean, there's nothing that's holding you back unless you let it. So a few years from now, I'd love to crank out a few albums. I'd love to tour a little bit, see the world, maybe travel overseas. That'd be so cool. just keep excelling in music and learn all the ins and outs of it. It's not a pretty business, but it's what business is really pretty, you know, besides a floral shop or something like that. I think the music business is interesting and it's competitive, and if that's not enough reason to try to get into it for the love of music, obviously. But I think it's a couple years from now, I think things are going to be really exciting. I'd love to hopefully look back on this and be like, man, remember that when we shot that video on the top of my roof? But I mean, in all seriousness, in a few years, I think with hard work and surrounding myself with the right people, I think the sky's the limit.
Did Jake ever cause any mischief when he was younger?
So another funny story. I mean, yes, we've only been dating for 3.5 years, but we went to the same elementary school. So we were friends back in the day, and then I ended up moving away, and so we kind of lost touch. So it's kind of like we re-met. But I don't know. I always remember he was actually. It's funny because he's not now. He's not quiet. That's not a word I would ever use to describe Jake. He's not quiet, and he's very outgoing. But I do remember him. I don't know what it was, but he was quieter, like when I knew him back in the day, you know. So of course, I know I've watched home videos. I know he caused mischief. I know I've heard stories. Of course he did. Boys, you know, of course he did. But I always remember as, I don't know, sweet and just quiet. And so I would still say that about him in some ways, but other ways he's very goofy and he's not quiet at all. And he causes mischief a lot. So, but in a good way, you know. He's fun. Yeah.
Did Jake ever cause trouble in his youth?
Oh boy, let me get a list up for that one.
Let me break out my.
What do you mean? Before you answer that, remember his mom might be watching.
I'm pretty sure his mom knows everything that he did.
It's always lighthearted.
Let me break out my 3-ring binder on now.
Yeah, no kidding. Like you got the grapes on 61. Midnight golfing at my house.
Oh, okay. So choose
shooting golf balls over 61.
Fireworks.
Choose.
Okay, I'm gonna
choose 2 and elaborate a little bit.
Okay, one I'm gonna do is midnight golfing. Something me and Jake used to do, like he'd come, like, you know, it'd be at 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. We'd be drinking underage stuff and whatnot, and he'd bring over his golf clubs, just get some balls, and we'd just start whacking them. No golf course, just...
Where were those balls going?
Up and over things. You could hear them bouncing on roads. Like,
freeways, whatever.
Yep, whatever. Just, oh, it was that was always fun. And the other one, I don't know what to choose because I want to either.
I was gonna give you do the apple one.
I was gonna do the apple. I wasn't gonna say the tire one, but I was like, we probably should not say that.
I don't know what the tire one is.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you off camera. It's hilarious. The other one would be.
Oh yeah. Sure.
There's a guy I edited that out. The other one would be in high school. Me and Jake used to take fruit from lunch, and we just whip it down the hallways.
Long hallway.
We're like, oh, no one's down this hallway. There goes an apple. So we did that one day. He had an apple, I had an orange. We both whipping down the science hallway, and we go to class, and next thing I know, 20 minutes later after lunch, we're both sitting in the office. We're like, yeah, we're here. We know why we're here. And then turns out that one of our fruits had hit a staff member, caused her to be physically, like, limping. I was like, we both looked at each other. I was like, I don't understand how that happened. He got suspended for 2 days. I got 6 hours community service. I got to clean ovens all day. Super nice.
all I can think of is like just being young and drunk and just lying on the floor of his parents' kitchen, and we were just like, I don't know, just. All right, so it was late at night. We were young and stuff, and there was these chairs, these kitchen chairs that we knocked over, and they were kind of hard cloth. And then we started grabbing his hair.
At my house.
Used to have hair.
I used to have long hair.
And then we'd just be like,
them gorgeous locks.
because he was just like gone, and we're
I was pretty drunk.
So what we would do was rub his face against the hard chair. And then the next day, he's got the nickname Chin Burn. So.
And it's funny because like I have these pictures of like the chair tipped over, Jake on top of me with his hand on my head, his arm around my neck. I'm laughing, he's laughing.
Yeah,
I'm like,
we're all laughing.
I'm like, what's going on here? Like,
just all on the floor, just
wake up and they're like, chin burn. I'm like, yeah, my chin burns because you rubbed it on a really hard chair. Of course it's gonna burn.
There's a memory for you.
That was God.
That was back in the day. Holy.
That was good.
Was that Jake being mischievous, or was that you?
Yeah, no, Jake.
That was more. That was Jake instigating.
Jake was doing
this.
The
He's like I was just flopping around. He just grabbed my head and he just like on the chair. I was like, oh.
So I don't know. That's my idea of machine.
Yeah, that was good. That was very good. That was a good night.
Yeah, good memories.
Drinking Jaeger or something, Malibu,
orange, vodka.
Oh God.
Bacardi orange.
Thank God.
I remember that back
I don't
in
miss
the
high
day.
school drinking days. Those were horrible. Ronnie D.
Ronnie D. I can do a shot of that right now.
Ick. You're horrible.
Next.
Yeah.
You don't got. Oh, you got one. Corn. He's got one. Corn.
Yeah.
Corn.
My dad, he
had corn. You guys threw it.
Yeah, we would throw my dad's corn because he fed the squirrels, and we would throw it like across the street against the buildings and like make the alarm go off and have cops come.
Remember that slingshot we had?
Oh yeah.
We had a 3-person slingshot. One person hold on one side, one person hold on the other side, the other person pull the middle back.
Yep.
They just slash.
Yep. Every balloon would set off the alarm, and they would come to the public works at the time, and they would just check it out and just leave.
Yeah, they never get us.
No,
they never get us.
Oh my goodness. It sucks that we had to narrow it down to like 1 or 2 stories. Like,
well, the fireworks one is probably the best.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Lighting off the fireworks at 3 o'clock in the morning at the park.
At the park.
Oh yeah.
I remember one year it was
like the 3,000.
Yep.
In the 5-gallon bucket. We're just like, and then it was funny because like the neighbors that were across the street, they got in trouble for it. We're just like, whatever. Nah. Yep, they did it.
Sorry.
Oh man, that was funny.
All of this bang news. It's like every time I turn around, somebody's coming on the road. All of this bang news. Well, I don't know about you, but buddy, I'm through. Don't even know why they call it the news. It's all about a bad news. It's all about a bad.
So, did Jake ever cause trouble in his youth? Was he mischievous?
Well, there's a lot of things that I don't know, but and they come out little by little. But I know he was a bit mischievous, and I know he would, him and a friend of his, Andy, would go buy a pound of grapes. And they would drive around on a Saturday night and throw grapes at cars. And that was pretty rough stuff in those days. And they would giggle and laugh and watch the reaction. So
Just a minute. Jake told me that what they would do with his squirters on his windshield were pointing them out towards other traffic, and they'd pull up to stop signs and they'd squirt people.
So he had kind of a gentle kind of mischief that was harmless and fun.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
I love you, Jake. I love you. I'm struck at this event here. This is something. This is really something. It's great.
Thank you.
We grew up good, we grew up wild, we grew up here, we grew up home. We grew up home. In the place where you learned a little bit about life, where you grew up, got down and fooled around, staying out a little too late, those climbing through the window days.
Advice for Jake as he starts going into the music business.
F*** off. No. Someone else go first.
Keep doing what you're doing, man. Don't force it. Stay true to yourself. And it's endless possibilities for you. That's my advice.
It really is. I mean, I think he needs very little of our advice, you know. We need to be there for him, but it's very... Advice, I mean, stay true to yourself. That's really the best I can do for him, man. You're a good human being, and be you and you only.
Those two pretty much summed it up, you know. Stay true to your music, yourself. Don't let anybody like say, play this song because this is what you should do. It's like, nope. Jake makes and plays the music he wants to play, and you let him. You let him.
Through the door.
Probably the blanket or something.
Somewhere on that.
Yeah,
room.
he plays what he wants to play, and it's like, you can say, hey, try this. He'll try it. If he doesn't like it, he's not gonna play it. So it's like, stay true to everything. Like,
stick to your roots.
Yep. Pretty much.
Advice for Jake as he starts getting into the music business.
I always tell him to protect himself because he trusts people really, he just trusts people very easily. And I just would never want him to be taken for granted or taken advantage of because he's so talented and he has a lot to offer. But I just don't want that to ever be in any kind of a bad light, you know? But also, of course, like, have fun. I mean, this is he's living his dream. That's the coolest thing about just watching him do what he does. He's literally living his dream. Not a lot of people can say that. And so I just wanted to stay positive, you know. I always want him to protect himself and to make sure that he's getting the best out of his music career that he can.
What are your final thoughts on Jake Nelson?
I'm excited for where he's going.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It was like a very good reception out in the crowd tonight.
What are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts, I guess, in everything that we've discussed and talked about, I'm just happy that people are willing and able to listen to me and listen to my music and enjoy and take something from it. I think the most important thing is just for people to connect with my music. I mean, whether it's a fun drinking party song or it's a song that's literally about something very, very real and very, very deep, because I write on all spectrums. As a songwriter, I guess you could say, I like to be able to appeal to the good things in life and the not so good things in life, because that is life, right? I mean, let's be honest. Life isn't always beautiful and life isn't always a walk in the park, but when it is a walk in the park and the roses are red and the violets are blue, it's great. You know what I mean? I think that, I guess in closing and final thoughts, I just want to thank everyone for not only viewing this, but just connecting with my music and sharing it with people that you feel that would enjoy it. I think that's, as an independent artist, that's the most important thing is word of mouth, and that's just all I can ask for. I'm very thankful and very honored and happy to be able to do what I'm doing, and obviously I still have my day job. Someday, hopefully, I don't have my day job, and my day job is writing songs for you guys, and that's all I could hope for. So thank you for listening. Thank you for viewing this video, this documentary, and we'll hopefully see you soon. Pick up an elk, come to a show, and party on. Cut!
How do they get the cream filling in a Twinkie?
Cream filling in a Twinkie. I'm pretty sure they use one of those caulk squeezers.
You can say cock.
It's actually pronounced caulk. Unless you're from where you are. Yeah, they just squirt it in there, man. They just get the needle. They go, you know, it's all good.
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
I've actually done that one time, and it was in the 300s, 310 and a half, depending on how long your tongue is, or something like that.
Why do people climb mountains?
People climb mountains to get the best view. And to try out new shoes, of course. I think that people climb mountains mainly to see down. Because they wouldn't do it to see up. It only makes sense.
Intelligent life in outer space.
That one I do know. I don't want to talk about it, but I do know that there's much of it, much around us. In there, over there, down there.